Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video. Hope you guys are all doing well. In today's video, the Mega Draft tournament is officially underway, so we have a brand new global tournament with the Mega Draft format being active. So it is 4 days long, and if you guys aren't familiar with this format, it's essentially, as you guys can see, you take turns with your opponent drafting from an open selection of cards and battle it out. So you do go turn by turn, drafting from a pool of cards available on the screen, and I'm currently at 3 wins, unfortunately 1 loss, but I'd say I'm pretty decent at Mega Draft, and I think I can bounce back from that loss. So in today's video, I'll be showing you guys my best tips and trying to teach you guys how to play Mega Draft and help you guys succeed in this tournament. So I'm at 3 wins, gonna be going for 5 straight wins for 8 wins total. And if you guys do enjoy the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. So we're going to jump right into the games. And again, I'll be giving you guys my thought process and tips while drafting. So find our first match here. So my first tip, very important, is look for spells as early as possible. Big spells especially. So I'll be taking the poison as my first pick because you are going to want to build a balanced deck. And so a balanced deck, in my opinion, constitutes number 1, a big spell. Number 2, ideally a small spell as well. Number 3, a win condition, and then number 4, some balanced support troops. So he takes a monk and a P.E.K.K.A. So I'm already thinking of taking an Inferno Dragon, even though he has Electro Dragon available. So I think I'll wait. Actually, I'll just take the Eye Drag, why not? And then I will take a Snowball, because small spells are crucial too. So, a big thing, one of the biggest things ever about this mode, guys, is you basically want to counter your opponent. So he's already taken the P.E.K.K.A. and the Monk, and Inferno Dragon is a great counter to both, so that's why I took the Eye Drag. Now, he does have Bats and E-Drag. I'm going to take the E-Spirit to counter the Bats, and then, actually, I just realized I already had a Snowball, so that was actually a really bad pick by me, my bad. And I do want to take an Archer Queen here, which is a bit tough because he has a monk, but monk does not actually full counter a queen if you time the ability right. So don't know why he went for a P.E.K.K.A. so early on. Hambre de Perro, pretty aggressive plays, but I'm okay with it. Takes a hog. So again, you want to counter your opponents. I want to take a Tesla. I could have taken a cannon as well, but I just like Tesla. It's a good card, and since he does have the E-Drag, it's going to be pretty solid against both ground and air. Next, I will take the Miner because the Miner poison should be pretty balanced, and I actually do regret taking the E-Spirit, guys, because I would have loved to take maybe Spear Goblins. But just to round the deck out, I think I will take a Knight because I do need kind of, a card that can be a ground tank and act as kind of response to the P.E.K.K.A. Maybe the Monk as well. So he takes a pretty decent deck. He has a big spell with the Fireball. He has a champion. Oh, you pretty much always want to take a champion as well, of course. But I believe the Inferno Dragon should put in work in this matchup here. He goes for a Heal Spirit. I'll just Knight, I guess. I mean, I don't really feel the best about wasting a Knight so early on, but I don't want to take that damage, and I didn't really have anything better to cycle. Bats, I'll just go for a Center Tesla, to be honest. If he goes for a Hog, I can push it in, and you do have to remember that their exact deck. You just saw them draft their entire deck. So you are going to be familiar with their entire deck, and so you don't really want to be getting yourself caught off guard. You don't want to get surprised. Is he going to P.E.K.K.A. in front of that Monk, or is he just going to Hog? I'll E-Spirit to cut this into the Tesla, and that should basically full counter. I'll go for a Queen. There's the Hog Rider. Okay, I'll go for an Eye Drag and a Snowball on the Hog, and that should full counter the Hog, I believe. Yep, so that's pretty nice. And he has to respond to both of these. So I know he has an E-Dragon here, but he also has Bats. There's the E-Drag. Bats definitely going to come down for the Queen, so I'll go Ability and I'll Miner as well, anticipating the Bats. So let me just go for my Miner, then I'll E-Spirit to predict the Bats. Beautiful prediction. That might just won me the game, guys, because how is he going to stop this now? Has to Fireball. As a result, I can activate King off this E-Drag, which is going to be very helpful for the rest of this match, of course. Activating King against Hog Rider decks in general, very clutch, and that was a beautiful sequence by me. Even he knows he gives the well played. So basically, again, you need to remember their deck, because you do have that availability of seeing what they're picking, and so why would you, not remember what they have? Like, you should definitely just keep that in mind. And since I did remember that he had a set of Bats in here, that's why I went for that prediction Miner, and then I went for the prediction E-Spirit predicting the Bats because he went for late Bats, and that was really good by me. Now I have a feeling he's going to go for an E-Drag here to kind of nullify my Inferno Dragon. Actually, if he goes Ability, he can't really afford to do that, so I'll just go for an Eye Drag early, and that's going to melt the entire P.E.K.K.A., so that's going to be nice. Yep, that's a dead P.E.K.K.A., so that's beautiful. I'll just go for my Queen. I know I just gave him a fair amount of value, but it's okay. I'll Poison and then Miner, like preemptively Poison. It's a bit aggressive, but I feel like he spent a lot of Elixir just now, and he can't really go for Bats on the Miner anyway, so I don't really feel too bad about this play. he goes for a hog. I'll just go for a low Tesla, which should easily counter it. And it should also counter the monk afterwards. So, you know, this is looking really good for me, guys. Goes for a P.E.K.K.A. I think I'll just go for a low queen, and then I'll go for a pretty aggro miner push here because the knight is tanking. I do have snowball ready for the bats if he goes for any. So let me just go for a miner in the back, snowball for the bats, and knight is tanking for the miner. So that's going to be tower down, essentially. Goes for the late E-drag, but too little too late. Goodbye to that. I'll knight to protect my queen, and then go for a Tesla, and that is going to be all wrapped up. So really nice first win, guys. Pretty balanced deck. I built a nice miner poison deck. The only thing I would have changed is possibly changing the snowball for the spear goblins, or rather the electro spirit for the spear goblins. But the electro spirit did come in pretty clutch there, you know, where it did help me out against those bats, and that prediction play basically won me the game in single. Into our next match against Danny, and he does have the first pick here, so I would probably take either log, arrows, or fireball. Based on what I see, he actually takes a witch, so I'll take the fireball and then the log, because that's going to full counter a witch, of course. And I do see the Little Prince is available. Little Prince is a super solid card. He takes an Electro Giant, so he seems very sure of his picks, which is, I mean, fair enough, I guess. I do see Earthquake is available, so he could take E-Giant Earthquake or E-Giant Lightning. Takes the Prince. I'll go for the Little Prince, and Ice Spirit's always going to be solid against both the E-Giant and the Prince, and then I kind of want to take like a Swarm card against that Prince. So again, you know, you want to be countering your opponents here. So I notice he has a Prince, which is going to be pretty annoying, so I'll take the Skarmy. Yeah, I was kind of leaning towards maybe a Skarmy or something like that. And I want to take a second tank here, so I'm thinking of probably Valkyrie, because I don't really see any other great support. So I'll take the Valk. I also have to come up with a win condition here. I'm thinking of possibly Drill. I feel like Drill synergizes pretty well with my deck. He takes a healer, which, I mean, his deck is pretty crazy. I'm actually probably going to take an Inferno Tower as my building of choice, because he's taking a lot of really heavy-duty cards. You know, he has the E-Giant, he has the Prince. I just feel like iTower is going to be so good at countering his whole deck, and now all he can take is a Lightning, yeah. Otherwise, he would have been in a lot of trouble. And he doesn't really have any Royal Giant counters, so I kind of feel like taking Royal Giant as well. But looking at my deck, I don't have the best Royal Giant support, so as a result, I think I'll take Drill. I think it's going to serve me better than an RG. So into our match against Danny, I accidentally muted emotes, so give him the good luck, and see what's up here. I feel like Drill first play is fine. I should have absolutely no issues against the E-Giant. I mean, Inferno Tower does full counter an Electro Giant, and I believe it might even full counter E-Giant plus Lightning. I'm not sure about that for sure. He ignores the Drill, which I think is a huge misplay, because he's going to take so much damage there, guys. Like, that for sure has to be a misplay, because what was that all about? And now, how is he going to stop this iTower from melting his entire E-Giant on defense? I mean, he can Lightning. If he does, I'll just go Valk LP, which is going to be totally fine. Does not have... I'll log as well just to prevent damage. He does not have a NATO, which means he can't actually pull the LP into his E-Giant. And that's going to be very easily defended, so I really don't know what that was about, guys. He has to respond to both lanes. I will not go LP ability. Actually, I will. You know what? Because the Witch is going to be annoying, and I feel like I can maybe get something out of this LP. Healer is going to be on the board as well, but LP is going to retarget onto the healer and should pretty much full counter it. Or not really. Do I have to go Skarmy here? Yeah, I think I have to go Skarmy because those skeletons are a bit annoying. So I'll go for my skeleton army here. Not really a big deal. Again, my opponent's playing so risky, guys. Like, he took so much damage by going E-Giant the back. He's going to take some damage from the Skarmy as well if he lets it go, which he basically does. I'll go for a Drill as late as possible. Prince is pretty aggro. I'll just go for an Ice Spirit, and then I can go for a Valk to full counter the whole thing. I think I'll have to LP as well, actually, because those minions are doing a lot of work. And yeah, I had a feeling he's going to respond to the Drill, so the LP will help against whatever he responds to the Drill with as well. As you guys can see, we just did a pretty good job of counter-picking our opponent's deck, which is honestly a bit more important than your own deck. Like, even if you have a deck that doesn't really work well together with the cards, as long as you counter your opponent, you can pretty much still win in this format. Of course, synergy is still very crucial, though, so you want to do your best to pick a deck that has really good synergy. But ultimately, I would say countering your opponent's deck is going to be the best way to success in this format. I'm just going to Skarmy surround this Witch. Should pretty much full counter. Then I'll go for a Drill, because he has to respond to both. He goes for an E-Giant at basically the wrong time. Really bad time to go E-Giant, because he's going to take a bunch of damage here, if not lose his entire tower. Okay, nice Goblin Drill, but still... Yeah, a nice delivery, rather, but still. I'll go for my iTower. I'll go for my Prince all the way in the corner, so he cannot deal with both with a Lightning. and that's going to be pretty much full defended by the LP, because LP is going to charge up. It's going to get us maximum DPS output, and that's just going to even full counter the Witch. Did not even need that ability, actually, but ability does counter the Prince, which is pretty great. I actually noticed I haven't even needed to fireball the whole game so far, guys, because my opponent is just, I don't know what he's doing. I really don't know what he's doing, but that's going to be tower down in the left. Honestly, Drill is a pretty solid win condition. You can't really go wrong with it, I feel. So that was a pretty good win. My opponent definitely picked a strange deck, but again, you know, if I didn't take the Inferno Tower, say I took like a cannon, or maybe, I mean, cannon would have been fine, but say I didn't take a building, then I would have been in trouble. So if you're taking like a cycle deck, guys, usually you want to take a building as well. You know, if I'm thinking about like what constitutes a solid balanced deck, you know, I always think of spells, win condition, probably a building as well. Looking at this pool of cards, I see some pretty solid options already. He takes the LP, which is honestly fair enough. I'll take a poison because that will full counter the LP by itself. And then I'm leaning towards maybe Logbait here. I'm not going to lie, guys, because we do have Goblin Barrel available, Princess available. I might just go for a Logbait deck, you know? So I'll take the Barb Barrel. That's like the only counter. He takes E-Giant, which is fine. I'll probably take Inferno Tower. Oh, he takes... Oh, wow. Okay, smart, I guess. He takes the I-Tower before I can. Well, I'll take my bait in that case. I'll take my Barrel and my Princess. I kind of want to take a Valk or a Knight. He takes a Skarmy. Oh, man. I didn't even notice the Skarmy, actually, so that was pretty smart on his end. Yeah, I'll definitely take a Valk because he has Skarmy, he has Dark Prince. Just want to take that. And I'll take a Bomb Tower as well because that's going to be very solid against basically his entire deck so far. Having a lot of, you know, ground-based cards. I feel like Phoenix might be okay, or maybe Spear Goblins. You know, normally in Logbait you have a Gang in here, and then you'd have a Spirit. So I'm thinking of probably Spear Goblins, I guess. He has a Zap, though. That's going to be pretty solid. Phoenix is also going to be pretty good looking so far right now, even though it doesn't synergize too good with Logbait. Just because it is going to be a nice, air troop. I was going to take Zappies, guys, if he took Lightning, but he takes the Fireball instead, so I'll definitely just take the Phoenix, because Zappies aren't going to do well against Lightning, or against Fireball, rather. Obviously, they're just going to die to a Fireball, so I won't go for that. And, I mean, LP is going to be a bit annoying, but it shouldn't be too bad. I'm actually tempted to take a Fisherman, guys, because Fisherman's going to do so well against E-Giant as well. He takes a Hunter. I'll take a Fisherman, because that's going to do so well against Electro Giant and basically any ground troops. So my opponent honestly didn't really pick a bad deck. Like, I'd say he deck picked pretty solidly, but I think we should be fine. I'll Princess first play. There's nothing in his deck that I really need Princess for, so yeah, there's nothing really too bad with that. Then I'll just go for a Fisherman for this Hunter. And just, oh, good Zap. He's going to get a Hunter hit for that. Wow, he's actually playing this pretty well, but he just went for a Zap, so I don't think he can respond to the Barrel. He's probably going to expect, okay, wow, goes for a high Skarmy. I was going to say he's probably going to expect a Barrel in the front, so that's why I went Barrel the back, so that he couldn't full counter with a Skarmy, but he does go for a Fireball. Well played. Let me just poison this, and actually, wow, okay, I kind of screwed myself there, guys, but I can just go for a Valk, it's all good. Fisherman whisked the Little Prince out of poison range. That was a bit unfortunate, but anyways, he's playing Electro Giant. Always important to remember, again, what their win con is. I'll go for a Princess down low, and then I'll just Barrel right away. He has to respond to both of them, of course. I know I just spent quite a lot of Elixir myself. I just spent 6, but he's going to eat the entire barrel. No, he's back to Zap. Still going to be a lot of damage, though. And he has to go for probably a Dark Prince. Nope, Skarmy. I'll just Barb Barrel for that. We get 2 Princess hits in the right. And eventually I could maybe start predicting a Skarmy with the Barb Barrel, or at least hovering my Barb Barrel to get ready for it. That way I can get even more damage out of the situation. So, you know, I'm feeling pretty good about this deck. Overall, I don't think my opponent did a bad job again at all of deck picking, but I just feel like my deck should be okay. I'll Phoenix the back. What does he have for this? E-Giant. Okay, E-Giant, very aggro. And LP. I'll honestly just poison that because that's going to full counter the LP 100%, whereas anything else wouldn't really. And then it's going to slow the E-Giant down as well to the point where it's going to be relatively well countered. I'll just go for a Valk. Didn't know if I should go Valk or Fisherman, but I think I'll just Valk. And then I can go for a Barrel here. I'll go Barrel the back again because if you go Skarmy in the front, that's going to full counter it. He does just Fireball it, which is fair enough. Probably going to Dark Prince now. Because the Skarmy won't... Oh, just Zaps. Terrible play. Should have gone Dark Prince. So that's going to be 3 Valk hits, guys. And just because of that, I'll go Princess the Bridge. Just add more pressure to it. And is he going to Skarmy? Nope, goes Hunter this time. Okay, fair enough. But, like, the damage is done. You guys can see so much damage coming pouring in here. Goes LP Dark Prince, the Bridge. Honestly, not a big deal at all. I'll go for my Barrel. And then I'll Poison to predict a Skarmy. I know it's a bit aggressive, but I feel like I can afford to go for it anyways because, I mean, my opponent is playing so aggro himself. What was that push in the right? That was absolutely super aggressive. So, yeah, definitely feel fine with this. And Valk, as you guys can see, is very good at countering the little prince. And that's pretty much good game at this point because he can't exactly stop this. I mean, the damage is done. Like, he's just been behind the whole game. And, yeah, he's done. Like, barrel was a great choice. There weren't really any barrel counters in this game except for a barb barrel. So I do feel like, you know, Goblin Barrel was a very solid option, and, you know, you can always take an archetype you're familiar with. So, you know, Minor Poison is an option, Minor Wall Breakers, Log Bait is there, Graveyard is there, Hog Rider Cycle, lots of options here. So 3 straight wins so far, doing very well. Let's go for 2 more, and hopefully you guys have been getting an idea of how you're supposed to draft in this challenge. Now, I noticed there are multiple win cons here. And I also see the Hog Rider and multiple big spells. I'm going to take the Log, just because it seems like the most solid small spell. Arrows is also very solid, by the way. E-Giant comes down again. People love taking E-Giant and Mini P.E.K.K.A. Okay. I'm going to have to take some E-Giant counters. So first and foremost, I will... Is there a Mini P.E.K.K.A.? Oh, he just took the Mini P.E.K.K.A. Well, Barbs is an option, but I'm leaning towards Hog again. So I think first and foremost, I will take a Fireball. Then, I will take Guards for the Mini P.E.K.K.A. And I'm not gonna be too fixed with my win con yet, because I could take Ram Rider, I could take Pigs, I could take Hog Rider. If he takes, like, okay, takes Arrows, I want to take anything that Arrows is good against. Then, of course, no Minion Horde, no Goblins, probably. They will counter my Guards pretty well, unfortunately, but it's not too big of a deal. As far as champions go, Mighty Miner should be okay, but it's not good against E-Giant at all. I'll take the Mighty Miner regardless, just because it's going to be okay overall. And then I think I'll take the Bomb Tower. Bomb Tower is a very solid building. I like it a bit more than Tesla here, because he's not really going to take any air cards, I don't think. And so it should just do a very good job at countering his Electro Giant. Mighty Miner will definitely counter his Golden Knight as well, very well, so I'm feeling pretty good about that pick. Now, I know he's probably going to take a Tornado, which is why... Okay, takes a Hog. What? Okay, he takes a Hog himself. That is very interesting. In fact, I might just take a Tornado myself. In fact, I think I will, because, I mean, that is pretty... Is there any range troop I can pair well with my NATO? Does not look like it, unfortunately. So I think I'll just take an iDrag, and then I have to take my win con. Probably going to take Pigs. Don't have the best troops. Like, I have triple spells, of course, but I think it should be fine. I mean, I can full counter the Hog with a NATO, and then I'll just take my Pigs as my win con. Because I was going to take Hog or Pigs, most likely. Not really Ram Rider. I mean, Ram could be okay, but he has Ghost. But other than that, doesn't have the best Pigs counter. So you might take, like, a building. Okay, takes a Tesla. Fair enough. Honestly, just going to Pigs first play if I have them in cycle. Because I feel like Pigs... Okay, never mind. I don't have them. But good luck regardless. This is a really crazy deck by my opponent, guys. I don't know what he was doing when building this deck. Goes for Bats first play. Oh, just Mighty Miner, I guess. I mean, don't want to take that one Bat hit. And if he goes... E-Giant in front, I can just go for my ability. I think I'll let it go. It should 1v1 that Mini P.E.K.K.A. otherwise. Yeah, it will. I'll just iDrag the back then. And it does 1v1 the Mini P.E.K.K.A. very nicely. I'll actually have to Bomb Tower this, sadly, because the Mini P.E.K.K.A. is alive. If I went for a NATO, Mini P.E.K.K.A. would have gotten onto my tower. That would not have been optimal. And now, I'll go for my Pigs the middle, because I have an iDrag counter pushing. He's probably going to Tesla, so that's why you go Pigs the middle, guys, because Tesla is going to come down over there, and as you can see, the Pigs just go right to the Tesla. Going to take care of that Ghost is that iDrag, which I very much appreciate. You know, that's very nice. And then if he goes Golden Knight ability, I don't think it'll hit all the guards if it's surrounded perfectly, so let's see. Go for my guards. It does actually hit most of them. I'll just log, because I don't really need a log for anything, and... Honestly, he doesn't have the best iDrag counters in this game either. That's why I took iDrag, because number one, you want to counter them, and number two, you want to take cards that they might not have any counters for. And Inferno Dragon, like, he has Bats, and that's about it. So if I get an iDrag on... Oh, wow. Okay, this is sketchy, though. Let me Bomb Tower, and then I'll try and activate. I believe... Yeah, that's going to full counter, and then I can activate King. So really nice by me. Really nice offense by him, not going to lie. That was really aggro. But it was smart, because it forced me to think outside the box, and, you know, I had to be pretty careful with what I did. We'll go for my Pigs right now, though. And Mighty Miner should kill the entire Golden Knight, so that's really good for me. He does go for the dash to reset, which is smart, but that should be a dead Golden Knight. Basically, anyways. And I don't know how to feel about this, guys, honestly, because, I mean, I can't really break through. Like, not gonna lie, he has decent defense. I mean, Tesla is enough for Pigs. I maybe should have taken Earthquake. But yeah, we'll see. Is he ever going to go for an E-Giant is the question as well, because he has E-Giant, and that's like the first card he picked. He's probably going to mini P.E.K.K.A behind this again. No, he does not. I'll just go for my pigs then, and try and make something happen right now. I'll Fireball the Tesla this time because that is in range. I think I'll hit the mini P.E.K.K.A too. Yeah, great Fireball. Very nice value. And Idreg is going to go crazy. Never mind, he does have the bats, unfortunately. I'll just Bomb Tower then, and guards over here. So that should still take care of the mini P.E.K.K.A, pretty sure. Yup, pretty nice. And I'll go Mighty Miner. I'll go Mighty Miner, and then I'll go Pigs as well, because Idreg will full counter that E-Giant, as you guys can see. So I think this is pretty solid. I'm gonna get some decent damage. He actually gets some decent damage himself, not gonna lie. But I feel like that was maybe a bit over aggressive by me, actually. He does have to respond to the Idreg. Probably is gonna do so with bats. This is a very strange match, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is very strange. I don't remember if he has a big spell or not. Might go Hog Rider this time as well. Does go Hog Rider, but Mighty Miner's gonna get on top of the Hog first, which is all I really wanted here. And then that's gonna full counter. I can go Pigs now. I have a nice counter push in both lanes. The right one's going to be slightly delayed, but still should be okay. I'll Fireball. Okay, I thought he was going to go Tesla low like last time, so Fireball would have hit both. Still, though, we do hit the Ghost, which I think is fine. And actually, look at the right side, guys. Hold up. Mighty Miner might take his entire tower right there if he's not careful. Or that's going to be so much damage. Yeah, that is... Oh my god, that is way too much damage to be taking. And that is possibly a good game right there, because that was, again, so much damage coming in. Gold Knight should dash onto my tower. I think I misplaced. Yeah, that's my bad. That's on me. That's fine, though. I'll go in again. That Mighty Miner probably just single-handedly won me the game, to be honest, because that was just crazy, man. Idreg's gonna solo this entire offense right here. I'll go guards. I'll NATO to take the bats out. Want to keep my Idreg alive, of course. Get a second one down just for good measures, and then I'll go pigs. And let me log this hog back. Look at those double Idregs putting in work, guys. And now the E-Giant is gonna counter them pretty well. But I mean, damage is done. All I have to do is not choke on defense here, and I won the game. So I'm chilling. I'll go for my NATO to take the bats out once more. Mighty Miner the bridge, and then I'll pigs in the middle so that it doesn't get splashed by that ghost right there. Fireball as well. Log 2 just for good measures, and again, pretty much just forcing a lot of elixir out at this point. Like, and my opponent's been struggling to break through. I know he got some damage that one time he went for that E-Giant push, but that was literally the only time he got damage. Otherwise, you know, he has not really gotten anything. Let me just NATO this E-Giant back as well as kill the bats, and that's going to be a good game. And I also subsequently cycled back to my bomb tower as well for defense. So that was a nice win. You know, very crazy deck on both of our ends, actually. My deck didn't have the best synergy. I just kind of chose cards that I felt would go well together. And also, I just wanted to take a balanced deck again. He took the double win con, so it is pretty important, guys, to take counters to all their stuffs. You know, if he has a Hog and an E-Giant, just Bomb Tower is not enough to counter both. So that's why I took the NATO as well. As you guys can see, it did help quite a lot against the Hog Rider. So all these games, you know, my opponents have not been picking that well. I'd say this guy picked okay, and he played okay as well. But otherwise, like, if you don't pick that well, then it's just going to be easy to get out-drafted. And that's basically how you win early in these Mega Draft games. So into our final match here. I am going... Expo could be a thing, guys. I could make an Expo deck. I'll go Fireball first and see what he wants to go for. I could definitely go Expo, though. Takes the LP, fair enough. Pretty standard. I could also go Pigs. I could also go RG. Lots of options coming in here. LP, though. Take some mini P.E.K.K.A. I'll take Skeletons, and then I will take my Tesla. As for the champion, I'm leaning towards Archer Queen, because I don't see a Lightning available, and Archer Queen should do very well. But there's no real need to rush getting that Queen, because he already took his Little Prince, which means he can't take another champion. So I can chill for a while. Need to take a ground tank, though, so I'll take the Knight. Perfect, actually. This is literally looking like a normal Expo deck, guys. I take Expo, I take Queen, and then all I'm missing is a Spirit, which is going to be the Fire Spirit. This is literally a real Expo deck, like Queen Bow. But yeah, as for the drafting process, guys, this time I just picked a deck that I liked. But of course, you can pick whatever you want. You know, in this deck, in this like set of options, you know, you could take Pigs, you could take Royal Giant, you could even take Goblin Giant, which he took before me. But Goblin Giant's obviously a really broken card. Also, with this set of cards, you could also take Goblin Drill. I think that would work very well as well. So I feel like Fire Spirit's the best card, you know. Yeah, I feel like Fire Spirit's the best. Obviously, would love for it to be an Ice Spirit, but Expo's going to do very well. He takes a rocket, which is pretty smart, going to counter the Expo, but still we have a legit Expo deck. Like, literally, we have Queen Bow. So I feel like I'm pretty confident going into this one. He can't actually kill my Archer Queen, guys, because he has a rocket. So if I don't go Queen the back, if I go Queen, like, in the middle of the map, he cannot really kill that. So you have to take note of those small interactions, too. I'll just Knight. One thing I love about this, though, is that there are no evolutions in this format, which I do really like, because I don't like evolutions at all. And so I'm a big fan of that. Go for my Knight at the back. He goes Goblin Giant at the back. Can't really punish that. I know he has a LP in here as well. He also can't really kill my Tesla. I misplaced it down by 1, but I hope that still pulls. I'll go for my Queen as well. Doubt he's going to rocket that so early, and if he does, he'll lose to the subsequent Expo punish. Tesla's going to take care of both those spears, and LP is a bit annoying here. But, yeah, should be fine. Tesla's going to pull the Guardian. I can go in now because that interaction went very well for me, actually. Did not really have to overspend. He has a mini P.E.K.K.A. Is he back to Goblin Giant? Goes for a really bad mini P.E.K.K.A. though. I'll log this back and then Skeletons as late as possible because I know he has a Rage. So I don't really want to feed into that Rage if I can help it. But that's going to be so much damage, guys. Nice punish on my end. I'm not going to Fire Spirit here because he has to respond to this Knight. And if I go Fire Spirit in front, I'll be at 0. He could Goblin Giant opposite and, like, get a lot of damage. Yeah, he just goes for a Tombstone. That is totally fine. I'm totally fine resetting here. We have a legit Expo deck, which again, I'm literally, like, I'm an Expo 1 trick. I'm very good at this archetype. So I already think we won this match. I'll go for a Queen in the back. Totally fine if he wants to rocket it. In fact, if he rockets, he'll lose because he just spent 3 elixir on that LP. I think even he knows better than that. Yeah, he does. Just goes Goblin Giant in front. So I'll have to get back to my Knight super fast for this defense here. Oh, wow, this is going to be tough. I actually think I have to Fireball instead. Maybe. Wait, did I just lose? Hold up. I'll log the mini P.E.K.K.A, but... Oh my god, I think I just... No, guys, what am I doing? Okay, wait. I need to get a lot of damage from this Queen punish somehow, so Fire Spirit to help out, hopefully. We get some damage, but not enough. Okay, well, all that big talk about me already winning the game, and I just lost by cycling a Queen opposite. I really needed that Queen on defense, actually, so... Wow, that's really on me, guys. My bad. I'll go in again. I'll still try and come back, but it's not looking very promising. It's really not looking very promising. Fireball all of this. But yeah, Rage comes down. This game is pretty much over, guys. That is so sad, actually. Especially because I got a real Queen Bow deck. Like, that is really a sad way to go out. Wow, man. I'll still try, though. I will still try. He is kind of low on elixir. Or not really low, but he's not back to Goblin Giant. He might be back now. Yeah, he is back now, but he wasn't back when I went for that Expo initially. Let me log all of this. Yeah, he is Barbarian. He did pick the last few cards just to counter Expo. So unfortunately, guys, Expo is still pretty easy to counter. That is going to be a good game, unfortunately. I mean, well played to my opponent. He does have a decent deck against mine. And also, I didn't play very well. I feel like, yeah, I probably should not have cycled Queen because I kind of needed it on defense against that big push. I mean, I could not have really expected him to go that aggressive early on, but you do have to be ready for anything in this mode. So unfortunately, guys, we're going to take one loss, but that's what happens when you just draft what you feel like, I guess. We're going to try and draft a very serious, proper deck now. So I'm feeling like Minor Poison, to be honest. So I'll take Poison first. I could take Minor Wall Breakers too. I see the Bomb Tower available. I see the LP. Any ground cards? I see the Knight, so looking very nice, actually. Like, looking like a very nice... Okay, he takes the Minor himself, unfortunately. Okay, in that case, I'm gonna have to switch up. What win cons can I take? I can take Graveyard. I can take... I'm feeling like Graveyard, I guess. I mean, what else is it really gonna be, right? So I'll go Knight, and then I'm gonna have to take some Graveyard cards. So Barbarrel does very well with Graveyard. Gonna have to take a win or a support troop. We don't really see any like baby dragons here, unfortunately. Skeledrags are there, but they don't really count as a Graveyard support card, I would say. This is honestly not looking that great. Monk. Okay, I'll just take my LP, I suppose. I mean, he's definitely not going to take Graveyard, right? I'll take Goblins, because that's going to counter his Miners pretty well. I actually don't even need to take Graveyard. I guess I could just take, like, Wall Breakers and, like, I don't even know, man. I mean, I actually don't really want to take, like, Giant or Goblin Giant into the Bomb Tower and the Monk, quite frankly. So let me see. I could take the Ice Spirit for the Miner. I'll take the Graveyard. I'm trying to see what Graveyard support I have here. Not much, honestly. Need like a range troop here, but what do I have? I guess Dart Goblin, but like it's not a Graveyard card. It's just like I don't really have many options, honestly. Maybe not the best graveyard draft, but didn't really want to take the tanks again into his, where he has the monk, he has the bomb tower. I'll take Tombstone. Should counter the wall breakers pretty well. Should do pretty well against the monk as well. Whereas, you know, a cannon or a Tesla would get reflected back, and kill itself against the monk. What's his last card going to be? He has a minor, just minor wall breakers right now. Honestly, what I was going for, I was going to build a minor wall breakers deck, and Skelly Drags is a pretty solid option, actually, because all I really have is Poison and Dark Goblin, so I'll Dark Goblin to start things out, though. Should be pretty solid, as he does not respond in time, so that's going to be a lot of damage early on. Actually, forgot I had LP as well, so that's going to be pretty okay against the Skelly Drags. I'll take 2 Skelly Drag Belches in the left, but it's not too big of a deal. I'll poison the Firecracker too. Just take that out while I can. And again, I do have goblins for his minor, so I feel pretty okay about my deck. The question is, how can I really get graveyard damage? And it's going to be probably with graveyard poisons in late double, and maybe even triple. You know, graveyard is a very late game type of deck regardless. Goes for the wall breakers. That will go straight into my... Okay, wow, I'll go for my Barb Barrel Goblins, and he does actually get a lot of damage, wow. Because one wall breaker does connect, unfortunately. I'll go for my Dark Goblin, and then Knight to protect it as well. And this is a decent counter push right here. He has to respond to this with the Firecracker, but Knight is going to do okay. Probably take it out, and then Dark Goblin will get a small counter push itself. Maybe one hit still. Yeah, very nice. So I'm honestly okay with this. I'm okay with this. And I feel like as the game progresses, I can probably just start getting nice graveyard pushes going, because he doesn't really have the best graveyard counters. I mean, he has Skelly Drags, which will get poisoned. Bomb Tower, I'll just Little Prince into, I guess. But yeah, Skelly Drags get poisoned. Monk is not a graveyard response. Goes for the Fireball. That's fair, I suppose. I think Dark Goblin can snipe this. Yeah, it can. So that's nice. Skelly Drags come down. That's going to die to the LP. I'll actually LP Graveyard right now. And I think he's in trouble, guys, because he's low on Elixir right now. Like, I think he just lost the game, actually. Because how does he stop this? He does not even have, like, a great small spell. Right? He has a Snowball. That's not going to clear a full Graveyard, so... Honestly, just saw my opportunity and took it, which is what Graveyard is sometimes, you know. Sometimes you go all in and punish them. But sometimes rather, you wait and be super patient. But sometimes you just go all in and punish them, like just now. Because he went for the really aggro Skelly Drags, that's what I noticed. And that basically lost him the game, like Skelly Drags up there. Especially when my LP was still alive. After he fireballed it, which is already a -1 trade, by the way. So, you do have to be careful, guys, because, you know, Little Prince is a very sneaky card still. It got nerfed, but it's still very solid. Just going to Barb Barrel that Firecracker, to be honest. And, again, Fireball on the LP. He has to Fireball Snowball it, which is a huge negative Elixir trade. And I'll just Graveyard in here, honestly. So I'll Graveyard right there. Little Prince for the Skelly Drag. And the game is pretty much over. I mean, that's so much damage coming in, too. Am I going to get a second crown? I might, or almost anyways. Like, wow, that is crazy, guys. So... nice win against a pretty decent minor deck. I mean, my opponent was pretty good at deck building. You know, he didn't exactly do a bad job. It's just that I built a nice deck myself. Barb Barrel gets reflected back, which is pretty funny. But yeah, he was well played. You know, that was a good Graveyard punish, which is how Graveyard is sometimes. You just punish. But yeah, that's about it for the video, guys. We're going to get the 5 wins that we wanted. Unfortunately, 1 loss along the way, but that was kind of on me. I think that was just a bad queen, frankly, and also not the best matchup. Like, I probably should have won this matchup, but it's not the greatest because he does have the Barb Barrel Rocket, and he also has the minor Little Prince. So, you know, he has lots of small little things that can do well against Expo. In addition to Goblin Giant being one of the best cards in the entire game right now. But yeah, hopefully that gives you guys insight on how to play Triple Draft and draft your stuff. Or Mega Draft, rather. I don't know why I said Triple Draft. Let me know if you guys did enjoy the video. Probably won't be doing another video on Mega Draft, but I just wanted to get one out for the global tournament for you guys, give you guys some tips and tricks. Just to close out, I guess, some final tips. Number 1, make sure your deck has good synergy with itself. You know, you don't want to take a random deck that just does not work well together. Like, you know, if you take Graveyard, take a Poison with it. If you take Goblin Barrel, take Spellbait with it. You know, normal stuff like that, which you should know intuitively anyways. Number 2, build a balanced deck. Take a small spell, big spell, make sure you have air defense, make sure you have a win condition. Number 3, probably one of the biggest tips, is try and counter your opponent's cards. And not only their cards, but their deck overall. So For example, if you see they have E-Giant with a mini P.E.K.K.A, I guess. Take a building for the E-Giant, take like guards, skeletons, goblins for the mini P.E.K.K.A. Just counter their stuff, because you need to have counters and responses to their deck. Next up, I already said synergy between your own cards. I said balanced deck. I said counter your opponent's cards. Oh, I guess that's pretty much it. Like, those are the 3 biggest tips, I guess. But another one is probably don't forget to take a champion. You know, champions are so OP, especially with no Evos here. Champions are, once again, the most broken card now that Evos are gone, in this format at least. So make sure you take a champion for that 3-card cycle magic. And yeah, good luck in the Mega Draft tournament. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.